Right, we're live. It's getting late in the week now. I can tell because my legs feel like jelly on this walking pad. In fact, what day is it today? Thursday. Friday is the last cardio day, and today, at the start of the week when I'm carved up, I'll use the cross trainer on like level 16, 17, sometimes 18. And today I was struggling to move the cross trainer at level 8, 9 and 10. So, right, let's try and get this step count done. Let's get this live done. What we're going to talk about is why trying to be perfect when you are trying to lose weight, get in shape, get healthy, keeps executives fat, ironically. This is a mindset that a lot of professional men have. It's kind of all or nothing. It's all in or all out. It's very much, I have to be perfect. If I'm not, I'm going to quit. And obviously, that really affects their ability to be consistent, which we'll come back to in a minute. Let's get the speed up on this. The problem with doing these lives is I walk for like 20, 25 minutes and I don't walk very far. There's got to be a sweet spot of how fast I can walk and still talk. So this year I've dropped myself, and this is, I'm going to use a quick story about myself. Dropped about 13 kilograms, 13 kilos. It's definitely more than that because I've had, like, even in the last, well, since I went to the Peak District and did the diet break, I'm leaner. To put it in perspective, I'm leaner now than I was before, but my weight still hasn't come down to its lowest. When I first started the fat loss phase, I did about 7 weeks where the weight didn't change on the scale, but I got leaner, and I've had some periods in that. And I think if I added it all up over the course of the 7 or 8 months I've been dieting, I've had at least 7, 8, 9, 10. I've had at least 16 weeks where the weight on the scale hasn't really changed or has gone up. So 13 kilos on the scale, basically 2 stone, but probably more. And this is the first time where I'll be very transparent. Until maybe 3 months ago, I've not done it anywhere near as perfect as I would have tried in the past. And even then, I wouldn't say it's been perfect. I reckon I went from kind of 80% 80% ticking the boxes to probably 90% ticking the boxes. And now I'm at this point where the fat is so stubborn because I'm lean everywhere apart from my stomach, which is what always happens for me. And if I'm going to get lean enough to do a photo shoot, which is the plan, then I won't be able to get away with, I'll have to be 100. I'll have to be the same as I did when I competed. I will have to be 100% perfect, which is what I'm more like now. But those of you who follow me and watch my content, it's very unlikely that any of you are going to get to that point where every decision matters or everything has to be perfect. Every calorie has to be accounted for. You can't skip sessions. It's unlikely because your goals are a lot more modest. And quite frankly, that's how most of you try to do it. And it typically fails. Why? Well, it's very, very hard to be perfect. And the analogy, the best way to describe it is, it's very hard to eat and train like a professional athlete. If you are training to be in the Olympics and you're trying to get a gold medal, and your whole life is centered around that gold medal, or being a professional footballer, or being whatever, even you could argue if you're somebody that is an actor and you've been given a part in a film where you have to be in great shape and you're being paid millions of pounds, then that is when you can be perfect, because you'll be able to be selfish, You'll be able to recover. You'll be able to train when you want. You can eat when you want. You're not going to go to business meetings and like no professional athlete who is trying to get a gold medal. Probably, maybe they do, but I doubt they go to dinner with their family and their family is like, go on, have a drink. It won't hurt. Maybe they do, but I doubt it. You have a lifestyle where you are trying to balance health, fitness goals, business, and family and social life. It's all a big juggling act, basically. And when you are strict with your training and your nutrition, the other things become more challenging. Like, how do you travel for business and stick to 100% perfection? My client Jordan just came back. I've talked about him a lot lately because he's a great example. He recently did 3 weeks straight of traveling abroad. So he said, like, we did an interview, I've posted it, or we did like a coaching call and I recorded it. And he did, 3 weeks of hotels, and basically he ate for 3 weeks straight in restaurants. He came back only 0.2 of a kilo heavier, but a little bit leaner. So definitely a win. And what he does is what we're going to talk about through this whole live is really focuses on kind of 80% good, 20% relaxed. I don't want to use the word bad. And that is enough to maintain or even get results. But if he had that mentality of he has to be perfect, it really puts you in a difficult position, because you're even like the kind of weirdo, neurotic fitness guy that goes to like business meetings and says, no, I don't drink, I don't do this. And I'm sure there are that do it. But my wife's ringing me. I can't do that when I'm live. It's covered the whole phone. Anyway, I'm sure there are some that do it. But I'd imagine what I've found with talking to executives is that for the most part, they go into business meetings feeling a little bit like they don't want to alienate themselves or look bad. So there has to be this flexibility. The problem lies in either you think you have to be perfect and maybe you are put off from trying, or you think you have to be perfect and you're the guy that has one drink with his boss, one drink with another executive, one drink with a client, one slice of cake for your daughter's birthday, and then you think, I've messed it up. There's no point. I'll just carry on eating loads of crap. I'll carry on drinking, and I will start again on Monday, or I will start again in a few weeks. That is the mentality of a lot of the men that I speak to. And of course, it comes back to what I said just a minute ago. It stops you from being consistent. I used to be more on the bodybuilder end of the spectrum. If you think of it kind of, I always think of it as a spectrum of like couch potato to, professional athlete, and you've got a spectrum. I was definitely closer to bodybuilder because I like living like that. And I'll be, again, completely transparent. My plan right now is right at the top of that, because my goals reflect that. You, as I said already, don't have goals that reflect that. So there's no need to be up this end of the spectrum. So that's kind of where I've been. And what have I done? Well, there have been weekends where I've done a refeed on a Saturday, and I've just kind of carried on a Sunday. The Sunday has not been a free-for-all. Like, Saturday has been a refeed, and if you've watched me or watched my content, you'll see I eat quite a lot of food. I prioritize highly processed sugary foods to do my skip load. And then on the Sunday, that has stopped. But what I've done on quite a lot of the Sundays is kind of taken my normal day. So, for example, I might cook myself some like chicken and like some vegetables and salad. but then I might have a couple of biscuits with it. So it's being kind of a relaxed, good day, but still the calories are higher. I've had evenings where I've had a couple of biscuits and gone over. That being said, I have tracked them. That's one of the things I'll come back to in a minute. I have been good at, like, if I do something that is not on the plan, I don't just sweep it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen. I track it. In the same way as there have been some days where I've been quite tired, or I've been a little busy, been a bit busier, and I haven't quite hit my step target. I've had some days in the gym where I've been busy or tired, and I've like kind of chosen to leave out a couple of exercises, kind of deliberately, and looked at the exercises and thought, well, I'm willing to sacrifice this exercise to get back quickly to do this work. So it just hasn't been perfect, but it has been very good, at least 80% of the time. And therefore, like I said, I've managed to drop 13 odd kilos. My strength hasn't plateaued at all, and I feel good. And that has all come down to, has come from not being perfect. How do you get into this style of, for lack of a better term, dieting, fat loss, muscle building? Firstly, it starts with changing your mindset. I've already covered this, but you kind of have to believe that it's going to work, because if it doesn't, you will be susceptible to that whole cycle of, I've eaten this cake, I've ruined the week, I'll start again next week, I'll start again in January. So first, mindset shift. Can you get in shape without being perfect? Yes. Another mindset shift. Now I'm getting several. I'm gonna have to finish this live and come back to it.